Step number two, in this walkthrough showing the 7 steps to developing a team, is find someone who has the results that you want. You're looking for a pattern. You want to follow an example. And in our case, we're developing a school, an online school, teaching missionaries how to become self-supporting missionary leaders. We're showing business principles that people can apply so that they could financially support themselves as they dedicate themselves entirely to the Lord's service. They are using their talents to win souls for Christ as a um, as a missionary that's being funded like Paul the tent maker. So he is an example of someone in the scriptures that we want to learn principles from to see how he accomplished what he did. He was a very effective missionary. The Bible gives profound principles and very important instruction on how to establish a school, how to follow the pattern that heaven approves. In fact, Christ had a school. It's known as the School of Christ. Looking at his example, how did Christ educate his disciples? How did he teach the people? And Christ's method alone is going to bring true success. So let's follow the pattern that is laid out for us, and we need not err. We're going to find similar success if we study the life of Jesus in Christ Object Lessons and Desire of Ages in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and understand how he worked and why he worked what he did. Very, very powerful, very helpful. Another example is in the Garden of Eden. God had established a school in the garden that was to be a pattern throughout all the ages of the earth, where God was a teacher, the parents were the first students, and the location was in the garden, out in nature, and the textbook was nature, and God was the instructor, so his word was involved in his teaching too. So this is some of the principles that we can gain from understanding the school of Christ as rightly training an army of youth. And another example we see is in the 1800s, there was a school named Madison. It's a blueprint of true education. It is the pattern school where they taught trades. They taught people how to be self-supporting. People would go to that school and they would go to that school with a debt and they would leave with a vehicle and money in their pockets. They were, the Madison School in Tennessee was on Ripley's Believe It or Not as world's records because students would go to the school leaving with more money than when they came. And it was unheard of because with the Catholic education system, you go into great debt just to get an education, and then you leave having borrowed much and owing much. And as the scripture says, a borrower is servant to the lender. These are different principles we see. So Madison is a pattern school that we would like to model after. And rather than reinventing the wheel and starting from scratch, let's look at those that are successful in the areas that we want to be. You want to gather those people and gather those tools that you have at your availability for whatever it is that you're looking at. Maybe it is a kitchen. So if you are a kitchen staff, find other schools that are running a kitchen. Find other missionaries that are doing the similar responsibility that you have. If you have a team of young people, go find some youth teachers, Sabbath school teachers, and or youth group leaders and see what are they doing, what has been successful for them. And you're gaining these resources. So this is what we did. We're also doing an online school. So we are incorporating the education so that we can scale it in a mass automated form so that it's not limited. We're no longer limited in one location of how many people we can bring to a building to go through a course. We want to be able to open it to the thousands. So we see this course from Jump Cut. Jump Cut is like an online, it's like an MBA, it's like a business school times 1,000. It's a lot better. So they have a course that shows step by step how to create online courses. And it says, learn step by step how to package your knowledge into lucrative digital products and launch your own automated online business. So they're showing walkthroughs, They show audience research, technology training, and templates and vaults that we could use these things without having to start from scratch. We're following a system, a path that has already been proven to be successful. This was a multi-million dollar launch. These two made over $20 million in the sales of their courses. They know what they're talking about. It's going to be some effective training that they're providing here and learning really valuable lessons. And we see the type of content they give, how they package it, the templates, the worksheets that they provide. A lot of these things we don't have to start from scratch, but we have access to real life examples that we can see what works well. Another example is this program. This is known as the Knowledge Business Blueprint on mastermind.com. This was the largest online course launch in internet history. These guys made over $20 million in like one day. This is like mind-boggling. But anyways, it's really effective, and they pulled together some of the most influential people of the internet to be affiliates to also help promote this course. So they like crashed the internet when they launched, and a bunch of people signed up, and it was intense, the movement and the influence that these people are having, and they're trying to make online course creation or self-education a norm, and they are trying to promote this so that other people all around the world can learn from each other a lot faster than otherwise. And that's a lot of what we're trying to do too. We're trying to package the knowledge of the scriptures so that more people can learn at their own pace as well. So one thing that we really like about the mastermind.com course is the ease of access. I mean, they've got this big video in the front. They've got these modules and lessons sectioned off. They got these buttons showing you how far you're progressing. They got the lessons where you're able to click, boom, 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 narrow your niche, and then they've got the lesson quiz, and they've got the next and back button. Just the way that this is laid out makes it a lot easier to navigate through. And when you click each session, here you have the topic, and they have action steps. This is my favorite part. They got action steps here. They got this tool, this PDF that you can walk through. They have the audio for a podcast that you can listen to for those who like podcasts like I do. And then they got transcripts for those who prefer to read it. And it's got the transcript of the lesson. And it's really laid out, organized in this tab. I really like that tab with the description, everything. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can take the practical side of this and get some of those the design, at least so that when we're designing our course, we're able to follow in his footsteps. And what we actually did, I'll be honest with you, we went to inspect and we looked at the source code, and Norman, who's a lot more tech savvy than I am, somehow he looked at all this HTML, PHP, CSS, whatever this coding is, and he found out that they're using WordPress, and two, they're using a plugin called LearnDash in order to host their online course. And we saw some of their other tools that they're using to put this thing together. And we have a friend, Eden Lifestyle, over in New York, who also have Medical Missionary True Education School. We have a very similar vision, interest, and burden, and they're putting together an online course for medical missionary evangelism. And I asked them, what program are you using for hosting your online course? We did a lot of research on e-learning systems and trying to figure out what we wanted to use. And I found out they are using LearnDash as well. So it's like, all right, there's two witnesses. And 1 Corinthians 13:1 says, when there's out of mouth of two or three, let every word be established. So we decided to go with LearnDash as well, and it's been a very good experience, and we've been able to make some progress. So I'll even show you just the quick example of what our topic page looks like. After we've been able to design a little bit of it, there's still some more that we have to do. It's a work in progress, but this is what we have so far. That's not there. School dot the Army of Youth topic page. Hopefully this will come up. But basically, what you're seeing is that we're following an example. You see the similarity? Yeah, be intentional with your devotions. Here's a topic. You got the overview. You got the video that when you click, you're able to watch it. And then you have the action steps, the worksheets, which we don't have yet. We borrowed that just as a placement. We're going to change it. The audio, we have access to that. We have the download button and the transcript. So this makes it a lot easier to be able to host. Otherwise, we were kind of struggling how we were going to lay everything out. But it's a work in progress. We're making good grounds, and so far so good. But basically, you want to find someone who has the results that you have, and you want to do research on what they did and document or take notes. Oh, there's another area that I can show you that was really helpful. It's over here, and I think you would like this a lot. Create AOI wireframe. Oh no, it's this. All right. So in doing this research, what we did is we dissected the jump cut and the mastermind course, and we made note of everything that we liked about their videos or about their layout. We saw their homepage, we liked some of those things. We liked the way that they had that. We got some ideas of how we could replicate it. So why reinvent the wheel? Why take all that energy of just creating something from scratch when the largest online course launch on planet Earth in human history already did it for us, and we could just follow some of that. And we saw that their sessions were good. We saw they got the lesson quiz, thought that was very interesting. And and we really liked the tab that I showed you, so much so that we decided to duplicate it as well. Why fix what's not broken? And we broke down their menu and how things were navigated there. Then we went over to Jump Cut. What we liked about Jump Cut that Mastermind didn't have is they got a comment section. Their comment section allows us to get more feedback from our course people and be able to answer their questions. It was a very interesting asset that they have as well. So you learn different things from different people, and when you find someone who has the results that you want, it really shortens the time that it takes for you to that steep learning curve doesn't have to be very steep. So you want to find mentors that are further ahead than you are, and you're going to go further faster together. That's step 2 of the 7 steps of developing your team.